You remember Seattle's city council pushed to defund the police? Well, now the city is increasing funding for law enforcement. First time they've done that since 2020. It is because crime is skyrocketing there. Our Seattle guy, Jason Rantz, joins me now. You say this story isn't entirely accurate. How so?
So it's not. On the one hand, they are in fact giving more money based upon where the budget was. And so that's obviously a positive. However, at the same time, they permanently cut 80 staff positions. Now, what they were going to do, because those 80 police officer positions were not going to be filled this year, they would leave it on the books so that it would just be an automatic budgetary item next year and the year after that. But as a result of this move, it's no longer a guarantee. And so depending on how this next council election goes, we might end up having a whole bunch of anti-police council members who won't want to bring back those police positions because their intent has been to lower the staff.
Is that likely? At the next city council election, more anti-police folks could be on that board?
It is too early to tell because in Seattle, it is very hard to get reasonable people to step up and actually run. They have to go up against a very loud base that tends to bully candidates who don't toe a very far to the left party line. And right now, some of the candidates who have stepped up are definitely in the camp of being anti-police. Now, do I expect that the council will be dramatically different in that regard? No, but if it's exactly the same makeup, ideologically speaking, as it is right now, that's not a step in the right direction.
You get what you vote for, and you deserve what you vote for.
Yeah.
Next case, Dr. Drew Pinsky blasted the governor of California, Newsom, over his state's drug and homeless crisis. Roll tape.
It's so bizarre. You don't know how bad it is in California. You can't imagine. It's people
I lived there
fleeing.
before.
You've never seen anything like it. And by the way, these are people that could be treated easily. I know how to treat this. This is what drives me so crazy about it.
All right, Jason, you're in Seattle, but how bad does it have to get before Newsom in California does something about it?
Well, that's a good question because every time I get asked that question, I wonder how much worse can it get? And yet somehow it manages to get worse. I mean, California homelessness is increasing. Across the West Coast, it's increasing. And in large part, it's because we have, on the West Coast, decided to effectively legalize drugs, which has led to the rise in fentanyl addiction, which is why so many people are dying. And at the same time, the states and a lot of these left-wing cities have embraced a housing-first model, which effectively says the only way that we're going to sweep some of these encampments is if we get someone a home. But the home is not contingent on treatment for their addiction or any sort of health care for their mental health issues. It's just, we give you a home and you're no longer homeless. But that doesn't address why they were homeless to begin with. These folks weren't born homeless. They got there because of an underlying reason. And unless we're going to address that, unless we adopt sweeps and we basically push people into treatment, nothing is going to get better.
I speak to quite a few folks who live overseas. They look at America, they look at San Francisco, they look at Los Angeles, and they just have to shake their heads. They can't believe what's happening in those cities. And neither can I sometimes. Jason Rantz, thank you, sir. We'll see you again soon. We've got to get back to the market.